Several upcoming pet adoption events are planned across the state, including right here in Springfield. Western Mass News reporter Reagan Stoddard is getting answers on the efforts underway to help manage the overpopulation of animals in the Massachusetts shelters.
Hoping to get more dogs adopted out of shelters, MSPCA Angel and their Massachusetts Animal Shelter Support Coalition partners are hosting adoption events in late August and September. Western Mass News spoke with Mike Kiley, MSPCA Angel Vice President of Animal Protection Division, about what these events entail.
Being this month and August 19th through 25th, we'll be waiving the fees for any dogs 1 year of age and older.
He explains one of the major problems that animal shelters are currently facing.
But the adoption interest is much lower, and that's creating a capacity challenge in our shelters, especially for dogs and especially big dogs.
Kiley also shared their major goals with these events.
That we can not only adopt more animals and be available to help other animals in need, but also reduce euthanasia.
Recently, waived fees allowed for the adoption of 157 dogs in a week. Western Mass News also spoke with Heather Cahaleen at Thomas J. O'Connor Animal Control and Adoption Center in Springfield about their partnership with the MSPCA.
So pairing with the MSPCA and the other organizations, everybody has different resources, and the more that we share resources, the better able we are to get more animals into homes altogether.
For those that might want to adopt a dog, it is important to understand the adoption process.
You can't just walk in and pick a dog based on looks just because they're cute or anything like that. We want to have a conversation and make sure that the needs match up.
Next week, the MSPCA will pair with rescues like TJAO here in Springfield to waive adoption fees. Reporting in Springfield, Reagan Stoddard, Western Mass News.